You're listening to 515, the Ultra Podcast, the show that invites you into the lives of people who make up the Ultra family. Here's your host for these conversations, Larry Ryan.
Thanks, MJ. Today's episode is getting an early release so that you have enough time to listen before the start of the 13th edition of UB515 this coming weekend. This is the first of two back-to-back episodes that are race previews. Today, we're traveling back to the southern hemisphere in the country of Brazil to speak with one of the race directors of UB515. We have had this guest on before to talk about their race, and I'm very pleased to have him returning today to give us a race preview for 2026, happening in just a couple of days. This episode is coming out a few days early to give people a chance to familiarize themselves with the athletes prior to the race. Joining me from the race city of Ubatuba, welcome back to the podcast, my friend from Brazil, Alex Luna. Welcome.
Hey, Larry. My pleasure. Thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure for me representing all the people that organize UB515, Ultraman in Brazil, to be here with you talking about the race. And it's just around the corner, 5 days from now.
Yeah. Just before we were recording, you were showing me some of the stuff you're getting ready in your race briefing room and all that stuff. It looks like you're ready to go.
Yeah, we are. A lot of things to do in these 5 days race prior to the race. We have race directors, organizers coming all over from Brazil. We got. I came from Rio de Janeiro. I think I mentioned you that it's actually I live in Rio de Janeiro, but the race, it happens in Ubatuba, as you mentioned. It's a 6-hour drive from Rio de Janeiro. And just like me, I came from Rio de Janeiro, and there's people coming from São Paulo, people coming from the northeastern country, a lot of places from Brazil. People are coming down to Ubatuba to organize and participate in the race.
Yeah. And this is your 13th race you're running this year, is that correct?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
The lucky 13.
Yeah, we hope so.
And you start off with an opening ceremony on April the 9th, and first day of racing is going to be April the 10th.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the last time you were here, it was for your 10th anniversary. So it's been a couple of years since we spoke about your race.
That long.
Yeah. So that was back in season 4, episode 6, for people that want to go back and pick up the stuff that we discussed in that one. Then we don't have to discuss all the same things again this time. They can go back and do their homework and hear about your course and the things that we talked about at that time, and a little bit more about you. Today, I want to highlight the athletes that you have coming and hear a little bit about your race. Can you go back and give us like kind of the quick version? I think we talked about this last time, but how did the race get started in Brazil, and who was the originator, or who were the originators of the idea to have a UB515?
Sure. The idea of putting up a race in Brazil came obviously by the experience of running Ultraman Hawaii. I've been there already. Obviously, Alexandre Ribeiro, which it couldn't be no different here in Brazil. We consider the greatest of all time in Ultraman, men's version. And Paulo Calil, another Brazil, and Corey Folk.
Yeah.
So Alexandre, Corey Folk, and Paulo Calil, a dear friend of mine who've been in Hawaii for 3 times, they thought about putting up the race here in Brazil. And but as the idea was mentioned, people got back to their lives, and it just didn't happen. But they kept talking among themselves about the race, and then Paulo invited me to join in the organization, and I wanted to say no to him, but I didn't have I couldn't say no to him. Yeah. Actually, Larry, I think I mentioned this before. I didn't want it, but Larry's Paul is a very dear friend of mine. He helped me so many times previously in my life, and I just couldn't say no to him. I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna put this thing up." And then I started to be closer to Corey Folk and
Right.
Alexandre. Yeah. And then one day, 2 or 3 years after the first idea of putting up a race, I was in a meeting with Corey, and he said, "Look, man, we have to put this thing up. I'm getting old, and I want to race in Brazil." And my professional background, Larry, is I always worked in projects.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a very linear way of thinking about things, activities, previous activities, all the stuff that has been put together. And I was mentioning that kind of things, those stuffs to Corey
Yeah.
in the same meeting regarding all the difficulties that I was having. And he just said, "You're never going to do the race if you think that way. You're never going to let the race happen if you think that way." And I think I've mentioned this before to you. And then he said this phrase that I recall just like it was yesterday. Just let the event happen. So then I ripped my projects books,
And now here's another Steve King story.
and I just then we put a date to happen, and then it just happened. And
Yeah.
that was 2014. And literally, it was just like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is our 13th year, and we worked very hard, to organize better race, to give the athletes the best experience they have and they can have. And we got to know people through these years, that got very, very involved in the event. And I think I mentioned that before. Sorry again for to saying that, but this event happens because of mainly 15 people, that comes all over from Brazil to organize the event and give their best the event to happen. And and we still, so far, we still hear that call from Ubatuba to come here and organize the event. And every year that we finish the race, Larry, and we have birthdays every year. We get older every year, And then when we do a debriefing meeting, and we look at each other's, we really do look at each other and say, we're going to do this again next year. And then we recall the faces of the athletes when they cross the finish line of the third day. And it's absolutely transforming. And you just don't get tired of it. It's not a same movie that we saw in 13. I mean, in 25, it's not the same thing that we saw in 24 and in 23. Every year is different.
Yeah.
So that really energizes us. So that's so far what keeps us going through the event. Yeah. And going backwards, Alex, Corey, Paulo, they're still very, very close to the race.
Yeah.
So
and
here we are.
And,
for 2026.
those are some real legends too in the Ultraman world. Like Corey's done over 30 races, over 35, I think. Alex has won Hawaii 6 times, 7 times, something like
6 times.
Yeah.
He's been there 9 times and he's won 6 times. Yeah. They're truly legends.
Yeah. And the other legend that you have, that's part of your race, of course, is Eternal Number 1.
Oh, yes, definitely. Sérgio Cordeiro. Yeah, and he's here with us again.
Oh,
he will be
excellent.
race director again.
Yeah.
We call him a little kid, the 72-year little kid. We love him, Sérgio Cordeiro.
Yeah.
And he still keeps on racing, multiple Ironman distance races.
Yeah, I saw last year. Last year he did the DECA, the continuous DECA, as the oldest person to complete that at 71 last year. That is amazing.
Yeah, he's a wonderful person. He's a true legend. I mean, it's a privilege, an honor, for me and other people to be very close to these legends, Corey, Sergio, and Alexandre.
Yeah.
And to see them obviously as the great athletes they are, but to get them to know them as people as well.
Of course, yeah.
You know, and that's so wonderful. You know, and they and all, you know, the interaction that we have with them and them with us, you know, truly friends. And, you know, we talk about, we drink beers together, we hear the stories, and that's the legacy of the sport, man.
Yeah.
That's about it.
And what does it do for your athletes that come in? Like, you've got your Ironman athletes and your ultra marathoners that are coming in and doing UB515, like doing Ultraman for the first time. To have these legends there present while they're racing and helping them out and taking care of them, like it must bring such a vibe to your race. Just how does that go for these people? Are they in shock and awe because they know who these people are?
Oh yes, definitely they do. They do, and they're very pleased to see Sergio Cordeiro. You know, they're very pleased to see Alex when Alex comes, and Corey. You know,
yeah.
And we had the opportunity also for 2 years to receive here by an initiative by Corey. We had to receive here in Brazil Curtis and Leslie Tyler, you know, which you know very well.
The founder, yeah.
Yeah, and the people, when they met them, you know, it was like, and it was really like for us to meet an icon. So when they get to know these people, delivering their kits or meeting them during the courses, it's great. And here in Brazil, we also have I'm saying that with really humility, but we have our icons here in Brazil, like Eric Duarte and Fabiano Perez, that I'm looking here at our website. And these guys that, you know, Fabiano, for example, he'll be racing this year. He has won, and he will be helping us to deliver the kits, to the athlete kits, you know.
Yeah.
And that's when people see Fabiano and them delivering the kits and hugging them and explaining them.
Yeah.
They really feel, you know, I believe they will really feel very happy. And they go like, we are Fabiano. You'll be in a race? Yeah. And you're giving me my kit? Yeah. It's cool. It's great. It's awesome.
The familia effect. Yeah. How would you say that what you're doing in Brazil is unique? Like, there's the Ohana, the vibe of racing a 5:15 race, but what do you think makes Brazil's race unique when it comes to that vibe and what you guys present?
That's a very important question. I think that what keeps us going so far and is that we truly believe, really believe in the Aloha and the Ohana and the Kokua.
Mm-hmm.
And we really try very hard, you know, not in an acting way, but in a way of being really to as organizers, to act like according to those values, those principles. When we talk to the athletes during the selection process and in each interaction that we have with them, obviously during the event. Thursday now is a very special day, which is the opening ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
And we see not only in the first timers, but also in the veterans, we see their insecureness. They're very anxious. So we hug them. We say welcome. We tell them that everything will be fine if we follow the rules. Obviously, principally the safety rules. You know, the rules that, you know, the controllable variables. You know, that we control.
Yeah.
If we act according, then it will be a very safe race and a very, you know, lots of fun. But I think it's the Aloha, the Ohana, and Kokua.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't put it in the, you know, in our website. We truly believe in that, and we really act with the athletes according to that. You know.
Yeah.
But for us from the organization, Larry, it's just on the Thursday and during those contact with the athletes, our interactions, it's just a sparkle, you know. The fire lights up, if the athlete receives, if they accept that as
Right.
true. Yeah. So I think that I don't think it makes us unique. You know, I rather say that it will make us really loyal to the principles of Aloha, Ohana, and Kukua.
Mm-hmm.
You know that Kirsch's and the other founders of Touring Hawaii um, founded that event on,
Mm-hmm.
and we incorporated that here in Brazil, and we use that with as their legacy, but with our own personality. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, I think it's that, to treat people according to the law of Hunkoku very warmly.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think all Brazilians do that.
Oh yeah,
I did get
yeah,
a chance
yeah.
to travel to Brazil during the Olympics when it was down there, and everybody was so
Uh-huh.
lovely down there.
Oh yeah, yes. We have a lot of problems here in Brazil, but we are very warmful people, and we like to greet people.
Mm-hmm.
That's we see interactions and connections as a very, very important part of our lives. That doesn't make us better or worse, just makes what we are. We think that connection, the human connections, are very, very important, and that really comes to match perfectly with Ultraman, because the
Yeah.
founders of this event in Hawaii, they really wanted the connections to be created,
Mm-hmm.
and those connections to be bigger and more perennial than the event itself.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's one thing that we really mentioned. The legacy of this event for the athletes is to go through the process of training for Ultraman, to have deeper insights, to get to know each other. Yourself more deeply,
Yeah.
and through that become a better person, through all the areas that you're having in life, in your personal life, your as a husband, as a father, as a professional, and the event really, and I think that's the second thing that makes us maybe uh, I don't know unique, but makes us what
Mm-hmm.
we are, is that we don't think that this event is the most important thing of an Ultraman. I mean, obviously it's important, but the process is more important than that.
Yeah.
And what we want is that this event, like 2026, to be registered in the histories, but the legacy of the event be much more bigger than the event
Right.
itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
The connections, people, the values of Aloha, Kukua, and it's a cliche, but the triathlon, the event, not an end in itself, like we always say, but a way to bigger and more important things, like I mentioned before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that's a testament to the number of people that come back to your race year after year.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely, Larry, and and we have these people coming back not only as an athletes, but you see all the race directors. I don't, not all, but of the 15, maybe 8 are previous racers.
Right.
People come back as race organizers, or they came back as staffs. Just or they come back just to watch.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people that have been in the race previously as athletes or staffs, and they come back each year to be with us. It's a thing that we really stimulate to happen, Larry.
Yeah.
And it really does happen, and it's a wonderful thing also.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's it's great that you have that legacy for sure. Let's move on and talk a little bit about your course. You did
Sure.
move the race to this location. We talked about the course previously, so people can go back and listen to that other episode. But just the quick rundown of the course. Tell us about some of the beautiful parts of it and the design, where it goes each
Sure.
day, and just give us the quick rundown for it.
Okay. So mainly all the courses are located. Our base is here in Ubatuba, São Paulo, and we have a swim that happens in a beach called Periquiaçu, which is the name of a fish in Brazil,
Okay.
Indian name. And we have a 2K loops, and it's very secure. It's a bay, summer circle bay, very protected. We don't have great waves. Now we have a small swell. Last year, it was the worst swim, 2025, the worst swim we ever had, because there was a full moon. And, the waves, yeah, it was a full moon. So the swells were really strong. But it's a very scenic, beautiful place to swim. And obviously, you have to swim the course a few times. And you see the mountains one side and the green sea on the other side. So we always stimulate the athletes while, if they can, if they want to have a go, stop, and while they're hydrating or having their nutritions, to look around and get those on the energy of the place. So it's a 5-loop swim course, as I mentioned. Then after that, in the first day, obviously, there's the 145K of bike, which is from Ubatuba to Paraty, which is a colonial city, very, very beautiful also. And they go from Ubatuba to Paraty, and then go back to Ubatuba. Second day is the 276 bike leg, which starts here in Ubatuba, goes through Paraty. It goes in the direction of a city called Angra dos Reis, and then you go out of the main road, climb up a mountain, 11K up to on a mountain to a city called Rio Claro, and then they go back all the way down to Paraty. And the races on second day is the only day that it doesn't finishing in Ubatuba. It finishes in Paraty, and everyone after the day 2 is finished, we'll go back here to Ubatuba, which is a 71K kilometers ride. And then we have on day 3 the 84.4 double marathon, ultra marathon, that starts here in Perequiaçu, where the beach, the swim happens. And then we go to the road, the main road, and then we go to what we call here in Brazil the Vicinal Road, which is made of gravel. It's a 25K stretch, and they go back to Perequiaçu, and they pass through the very close to the finish line, but they're still on 60K, and they have to run more 24, and that goes really the shore here of Batu and the beaches, and very, very scenic, very beautiful. Then they go 12K, they go back 12K, and then they finish at Perequiaçu.
Yeah, you give them that little bit of hope of you're near the finish line, but then you have to do an out.
Yeah. It's very, very powerful for us and for them also, and also it helps us in a sense of to know everyone that has go through 60K,
right,
and how they are performing. It becomes much more safer, and happy. And then when they cross the finish line, we have a tradition here in Brazil now, as you know. Now we love beer here in Brazil, and each one of them receives a glass of beer, a huge glass of beer. That we obviously we benchmarked it from Roof, and we wanted them to have it here in Brazil. It's a tradition. Everyone drinks beer.
Yeah.
And that's also happens in Hawaii. After they cross the finish line, we tell them that they have to go back to the water to finish the cycle. So the race and the event starts on the water, and it must finish on the water also. And then they go to the water to have their final bath dive on the beach.
Yeah, nice, beautiful. So the other episode that you joined me for was season 5, episode 9, and that was the round table discussion. And we had a bunch of, race directors and Steve King and, longtime racers come and talk about the state of the ultra triathlon. And at that time, we were kind of discussing that, numbers are starting to drop and people are finding it's too expensive to take part in these events. But your race continues to get good numbers. You have 43 people this year racing. So things are going well down in Brazil. Congratulations on that. Let's talk about some of these 43 competitors that are coming to your race.
Actually, it was supposed to be more. It was to be 47, but as unfortunately, it happens and it's predictable.
Yeah.
The 2 months prior to the race, when you get the increase of the volume of training, mainly in the run, it causes some injuries. And then we have 4 people that were injured during that cycle, the last cycle of 2 months. So we come to 43.
Yeah. Well, it's still a great number. 43 is going to be, a lot to keep track of for you. What's your breakdown of male to female competitors this year?
We have 35 men and we have 8 women. It is still a long way for us to try to get to 50-50, but it's our record of women participation. We have 8 women.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, it's awesome. We really thrilled, excited with that. And we have a lot of newcomers. 60% of the athletes are newcomers, starting now. And it's great also, and especially on the female, there's a 62-year-old Louisa.
Okay.
And which is very, very strong. She's the oldest of the event. And she's trained by Bernardo Tillman, which is one of the competitors also. And he has told me that she's very, very strong, and we should have a look at her. She should probably, on the women's side, will perform very, very, very good.
Oh, awesome. Good. Yeah. Okay, well, let's take a dive into these competitors. I would like you to introduce them for us. Now, you do a cool thing there where you keep your numbers. And so we go from number 1 or number 0, I believe you have.
Number 0, is Alex. and number 1, Sergio Cordeiro.
Yeah. And then the numbers are continuing up. But if people come back, they get their number back. They get their same number. So that's how we can recognize your 15 veterans that are in the field. So I have a screen that I'm going to bring up for people on YouTube that shows your website, and we can take a look at each of these people. So starting with number 75, do you want to introduce number 75 for us?
Yeah, sure. That's Bernardo Tillman. He's my coach also. And he is with him, from his coaching, there will be 9 people with him.
Oh, 9 athletes.
Yeah, 9 athletes. Yeah. And it's his 4th participation in UB515. And wonderful person. He's from Rio de Janeiro, and his background has been the ultra running and adventure racing also. And he has a very strong background. Wonderful person.
Yeah. So with that background, do you think that he would be one of the contenders to try and take it this year, or is he just there to compete and have fun and support his athletes?
Bernardo would be one of the top contenders if he had more time to train.
Okay.
Definitely, but he has, I don't know how to say this in English, assessoria. He coaches a lot. Yeah. He has more than 300 athletes coaching, so that consumes a lot of time. But definitely he would be one of the top contenders. But I believe he will be on the top 5 male finishes. Okay. Definitely he will be.
All right. Well, I think by looking at the resume of the next athlete, number 78, this is probably another staple of your scene down there. He's got to be someone that you're looking at closely as well.
Oh, definitely. Eric has won before. He should have won 2 times, but he didn't win the first time, and we joke with him, and he recognized that. Because he didn't on the ultra marathon, he didn't how we say that he didn't he gave all he had on the first marathon. Yeah, he did it with the heart. He didn't do it with his brains. If he raced it with his brains, he would have won the race.
Okay,
he had a 40-minute lead. All he had to do is to administrate that lead. During the race, but obviously he bunked right up on 50K. But he's a very strong contender this year. I think he has some injury issues. They're not really relevant, but he mentioned to me some injury issues. But his biking is very, very strong. So I think that he would be one of the first top contenders. Let's see how he finishes the bike leg and see if he's older now and how he's going to manage the ultra marathon.
Yeah.
But definitely he will be on the top 3. If everything goes well, he will be on top 3.
Okay. Yeah. And probably one of the contenders for the female side, another former champion is number 99.
Yeah, Aline is a wonderful person. He's back. She's back. She's a wonderful person. What you see in the picture, she's always with that smile on her face. No matter what happens in the course, she always smiles. But she's also very strong. She's very steady. Definitely we have to look at her on the top 5.
Top 5 for the entire race, including the men?
No, for the women.
Oh, for the women. Okay, yeah. Fabiano up next, number 135.
Yeah, he has won one time. He's 49 years old now. He told me that last year would be his last year. It wasn't because he had some stomachal issues, and he told me afterwards he didn't do his best. So he's coming back. He has training a lot, and it would be wonderful to see Eric and him, on the head of the race to see how it goes, the dynamics between the two. And we have also Rafael that we're going to go through still. But it will be a wonderful race between Eric and Fabian.
Oh, great. Yeah. Okay. And then next up is number 147.
Djalmo. Yeah, Djalmo is from Curitiba. He's coming back. He's one of the race directors that I mentioned. He's also, obviously, he'll be in the race and athlete, and he helps a lot help us a lot on organization. And he one of the biggest enthusiasts of UB515. He's very steady, and I believe he's going to always finish very well the race.
Yeah. And for people watching on YouTube, all of your athlete photos have people sticking their tongues out. What is the background for that reason?
I don't know exactly when it happens. I don't know when it started. I'm sorry. But it goes back to 2014. I think I think we just asked them to do a picture of them smiling and a second picture of the tongue. And then it became a tradition, and then organically it came out that way, So most of the pictures that we take, we don't even have to ask people no more, When they cross the finish line, we just ask them to take a picture and they stick their tongues out, and it become a tradition.
Yeah, oh, that's nice. All right, well, let's pick it up with number 149.
Yeah, Evandro. He's also come back. It's his 4th time here in UB515, and he works with insurance in Curitiba. Wonderful person. He's married with Magla, and his wife is ultra marathonist, and he lives sports, and a very wonderful person that comes to enjoy UB515 every year.
Excellent. Next up is 169.
Marcelo Noia. He's from Rio de Janeiro. It's his 2nd time. Wonderful person also. He has he works in retail, owns a couple of stores, and wonderful person also. Coming back to enjoy.
Yeah. And the other thing for people watching on YouTube or that come and check out your website is you have a baptismal name for each of the athletes. Yeah. How do they receive that?
They love it, actually. Just like we understand that they have to, what we call their eternal numbers. No other athletes will receive that. We understand that because we really do emulate the Hawaii principles. We do emulate that. Mm-hmm. Although we live in Brazil, we have a wonderful culture here in Brazil. We recognize that, but we do emulate. Yes, we do emulate. The Hawaiian culture, and we give them a Hawaiian name and a UB515 name, and that's his name in in Hawaii. And if you come down a little bit,
Yep.
scroll down.
Yep.
His name in English,
Oh,
it's not translated for you.
yeah.
It's a brother who is enthusiastic with life.
Okay. Brother who's enthusiastic with life. Yeah. And
Right,
who's choosing the name? Are the racers choosing their names? How do they get their name?
No, we when we interview them, we hear obviously what they're saying to us, and they also fill a form, and we ask them to fill, to write freely what they think about the event, what they think about life, how they see lives, and we just pick it up from there.
Okay.
But we choose here.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure why on my computer, sometimes it automatically translates the Portuguese for me. And other times when I click on somebody, it doesn't translate.
It does. Yeah. I don't know.
All right. Well, we got somebody that is not representing Brazil up next, number 187. I believe he does live in Brazil, but representing Spain. Is that correct?
Exactly. Well, actually, he has lived in Brazil. He's gone back to Spain now.
Okay.
He's one of the Bernardo Tillmans, coached by Bernardo Tillmans. He lives in a city close to Barcelona, and it's very, very tough for him to train because it's winter there. It's kind of, below 15 Celsius, very, very hard. He has been here before, his second attempt. Hopefully everything will be fine for him. And so we're really expecting Juan to finish the race this time. He has trained a lot. He has shared in a WhatsApp group his training, all his indoor training, and it's very challenging for him. And we'll be here for cheer up for him.
Excellent. Yeah. And how many, your race is mostly regional. It's mostly Brazilian people that come. How many do we have that are being represented from outside Brazil this year? Other than
Actually,
Juan?
we have two.
Okay.
We have Juan and we have Dankar, number 257. He's from Switzerland.
Okay. Well, we'll get to him then.
He stays, but he's 15 days of the month. He stays in Brazil. 15 days he's in Switzerland. He owns restaurants here in Rio de Janeiro, So part of his time, part of his month, he's in Switzerland, part he's here in Brazil.
Oh, excellent. Cool. All right. As we have been mentioning, this episode is available on the 515 YouTube channel. If you've not had the opportunity to check it out yet, I recommend you do. You can watch this episode and see all of the athletes that we are talking about. It will also be the home of the upcoming Australia live stream on May 9th, 10th, and 11th. In the next episode of the podcast, I'll be speaking with race director Jeff Morris to preview that race. While you're on the YouTube channel, check out the live stream from last year and be sure to subscribe. Now, back to my conversation with Alex. Well, let's look at number 200 next.
Eduardo Filho, he's from Bahia, very strong. He's a coach, works as a coach, has a lot of athletes also. There's one athlete that he trained that's coming for the race. Wonderful person. Enjoys the Ultraman way. He just wants to finish it.
Yeah. Okay. And number 208.
Pedro, he's from Brazil. He's a geologist. He teaches at university. Has a doctorate, postdoctorate, and knows everything about geology. And it's his third Ultraman. It's great. He has 4 kids, and he brings down everyone. Brings down his kids, his wife, his parents. It's great. There comes a lot of people with him. It's very, very fun. It's wonderful to get to.
Is his family younger children or old enough to help crew?
Oh yeah, younger children.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe the oldest is not 18 yet.
Okay. It's always great when the athletes have a full family there with them and share that experience.
Yeah. It does. And then we got Igor. Eagles was supposed to be with us last year. Unfortunately, a month prior to the race, he lost his mother.
Oh, okay.
So obviously he couldn't go. He decided not to go through the process, but he's back this year, and he's coached by Vanusa Maciel. Vanusa has won 2 times, UB515.
Yeah.
And it's great for us, to have him back. So he's coming to finish the race.
Oh, excellent. Okay. And then number 225.
Luciano, he's from Salvador, Bahia, northeastern from Brazil. He's a doctor. He's coming back, very, very strong, very, very strong. I think that Luciano will be ali, probably on the top 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Top 10. And then we have number 233.
Oh, Rianzinho, great guy. He's from the financial market here in Brazil, but now he's became a TikToker.
Okay.
Yeah. On Instagram, he has more than 1 million followers.
What?
And
let me click on this.
Yeah. Check it out.
It's not a link.
What?
The link is not working.
Oh, yeah. But if you...
I'll check him out later.
Yeah, check out them. And he has a history background that is wonderful. He has I don't know if I'm saying that correctly in English, obesity. He was very obese, He lost a lot of weight.
Okay.
During the process of Ironman, Ultraman. And he likes to share that with people. He likes to be an inspiration for people, who looks for more quality of life, a healthy life through sports. Wonderful person.
All right. And number 236.
Rafa Aragon. I think this one is the one that I mentioned before when we were talking about Fabiano and Eric. I think we have these three guys that will be competing on the head of the race, which will be Rafael, Fabiano, and Eric.
Okay.
Rafa, last year, he finished on the second day as first place. He has a very strong bike also, but he didn't perform. He got sick during the ultramarathon, and he's very focused. And like Eric and Fabiano, he's coming to win.
Yeah.
To try the win. So again, it will be very, very exciting to see the dynamics of the race, the head of the race.
Yeah.
Watching these 3 guys.
All right. Number 241.
Rubens Gonçalo, he's coached by Bernardo Tillmanso. He's a chef.
Huh.
He works in a hotel. Yeah. He was a chef. Last time that I talked to him, he told me, look, I can't talk to you right now because I'm cooking for the president. Oh, I said, the Autumn Hotel's president. No, the Brazilian president. He's out there. I'm cooking for him. I'll talk to you later. A wonderful guy. He brings his family, his 2 kids, his wife, and he just a couple of months ago, he ran a wonderful ultramarathon here in Brazil called BR145. That's 145 miles.
Okay.
And very, very strong race.
Mm. And I saw another race listed by a number of your athletes. It was called the Fodox Man?
The Fodex Man?
Fodex Man?
Sure.
What is that race?
Yeah, wonderful race. Yeah. The Fodex Man is a iron distance race that happens in a state called Santa Catarina, and it's the biggest challenge is the climb, the 180 kilometer climb. It's called I forgot the name of the mountain, but it's very, very hard. People don't use time trial bikes. Usually, they use normal bikes, as we can say.
Yeah.
It's very hard, very, very hard.
Yeah. So that's one of the ones
It's
that
on my
people.
bucket list to do it one day.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's one of the ones that people use as a. If I can do this, I'm getting ready for
Yeah.
Ultraman.
Yes. Yeah. Usually, Fodex is used as a proxy to Ultraman.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if I'm correct, that is all the people that had returning numbers, and we're going to be stepping into the new racers now. Is that right?
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
So number 244. Or
Yeah. Now we have Kleber Santos. He's from Brazilian capital city, the capital of Brazil, and he's a policeman. And he has done some races before, but he's very excited about Ultraman. He's just coming to have enjoy, have fun, and but by the nature of his special forces from the police, so he has done a lot of things, very challenging physical things.
excellent. And number 245.
Rodrigo Gregorio. He's from São Paulo. He works for Dell Computers, and just coming down with his family. He has told me I just want to have fun, I'm enjoying the process. Just want to be there with you guys. So hope to see and hug him soon.
Yeah, yeah. And your race location, it's kind of halfway between Rio and Sao Paulo. Is that correct?
Actually, we're closer to São Paulo.
Closer. Okay.
Where Ubatuba is in the state of São Paulo, which the capital is São Paulo. And it's a 3-hour drive from São Paulo. And from Rio de Janeiro, it's a 6-hour drive. Okay. So it's closer to São Paulo.
Yeah. All right. Let's look.
Diogo.
246.
Yeah, Bruno. He has come in this event before. He was captain of an athlete called André, a dear friend of ours. He's a artist director. André is the person that rebranded the UB515 logo, all our communication. And Diogo was his captain, as I mentioned. He was his captain. Now André is coming back as captain of Diogo.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah, it's great.
And do you find that you get most of your athletes come as crew members first to check it out?
Not necessarily. We got a few athletes that come from as previously staffs,
Yeah.
But not necessarily the most of them.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's take a look at athlete number 248.
Ana Flávia, she's from Rio de Janeiro, trained by Bernardo Tillman. She's coming from, she finished last year Ironman Hawaii. Very strong contender.
Okay.
Very strong contender.
And then we have somebody holding, it looks like the Olympic torch, number 249.
Yeah, it is Luisa. She's a little girl, as I mentioned before. She's our 62-year-old. She's from Rio de Janeiro. Luisa has a wonderful story. She's an Olympic athlete, volleyball. I'm sorry, okay. Volleyball in the 80s. So she know what is how to act like a very strong athlete, Olympic athlete, to give her all her best. And definitely, Bernardo told me that she's putting all that experience into the training for Ultraman. And I think that Luis is a very strong contender for the win with the women's in the women's field.
Excellent. And number 250.
Yeah, Marceli. She's from Rio de Janeiro also. She's also a coach, but she decided to be coached by Bernardo.
Okay.
And And she told me that, she's just a wonderful person. She's enjoying very, very much the process. She just wants to come to the race and be in the race and be part of it, enjoy the process. And like Aline, you see the smile on her face. She's always like that.
Yeah. Okay. And number 251, we get a serious photo here.
Yeah, very serious photo. Diego, very nice guy. He's the youngest of the field. I think that Diego is 23 years old, and Diego has only done one triathlon before.
Okay.
And he's coached by Bernardo Tillman. And Diego wrote us a letter, and I'll share it with you afterwards.
Okay.
You know, very long letter telling us why he wanted to do Ultraman. Told us all the training that he has done, and trying to argue with us. I mean, convince us that we should give him a shot in Ultraman.
Oh yeah. Even though he had the smaller resume, he's got the backing.
Yeah. And we are always very concerned about that, you know, Larry. Very, you know, because obviously the guys and the women who have been through a Ironman process, you know, we expect them to, you know, to go through in a easier way through the Ultraman process, which is, you know, bigger. And Diego hasn't been through an Ironman before.
Right.
But we talked to Bernardo, and Bernardo told me that what he mentioned in the letter is just like he is really. So we talked to him, you know, we interviewed him, talked to Bernardo, and we decided to let him in the race. And Bernardo has told me, and I talked to Diego, you see him strong. He's really, really thin now. And he has gone through the entire process of training with Bernardo with no injuries. So we're looking forward to see him cross the finish line.
Yeah. And do you have any hard and fast rules about who can apply, like what the resume has to be? Is this just an exception in this case because you trust the coach, or generally do you have you have to finish an Ironman in under 13 and a half hours? You have to have an ultra run. Like what are your rules around that?
Yeah. Well, we've benchmarked that also from Hawaii, and it's not how do you say, it's something that we use as a reference,
right?
Because as I mentioned before, we look to see people going through a Ultraman process that has been through a Ironman process before. You know, usually people that come to Ultraman, as you know, is people who with 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 Ironman races, you know, that want to experience something different.
Yeah.
Usually that's the paradigm of Ultraman. What we have noticed here in Brazil, Larry, and I don't know, that is something that when you do a next episode of your podcast, and we talk again with the other race directors, if what we're observing here in Brazil is the same thing that's happening on their countries, but we are observing that there are people with less Ironmans with a cycle, let's say that, smaller in Ironman, attempting to go to Ultraman. And we stimulate those people to see, look, you have 2 Ironmans, you have 3 Ironmans. Don't you think that you should stay more, go through some Ironmans before coming to Ultraman, But answering your question directly, it's not a rule in itself.
Right.
It's a benchmark that we use, a reference that we use, but we have some exceptions. Diogo is one of those exceptions.
Mm-hmm.
At the finish of the day, what we do is treat each person individually. So we have to talk with the people. We have to see their motivations.
Mm-hmm.
We have to see their backgrounds. We have to see who they're coached by. Why do you want to do this race? Is it for vanity? Is it for personal challenge? Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
And we do, obviously, when we approach people to talk with them about that, we have a lot of humility. We have all the respect, but at the end of the day, we understand that we have to do that as race organizers. We have the responsibility to put in these races people, that we see that are going to go through the process, and won't suffer. And again, we don't decide for people, but we have the prerogative, as race organizers to see the best way we can, what are motivating those people, those persons to go to participate on the race.
Yeah.
So it's not a rule, but it's a benchmark we use as a reference. He had a 14-hour Ironman finish previously.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, let's go back into the athletes here. Number 252.
Yeah, Julius is he lives in Northeast also. He's a police officer also, and when he sent us his picture to put on the website, we just put his picture and we cut off that lady, which is on his right side, and he said, "Look, can I ask you one thing?" "Yeah, sure. What do you want?" "Can you put the picture with me and my mom?" And I said, "Sure, why not? We can put it." And then he told us a story because, when he was born, doctors told his mother that he wouldn't survive a week.
Oh.
And he had a lot of health issues, but he survived. He had some problems, health issues when he was young, and as a baby, and he was young, 8, 9, 10 years. And his mother was always by his side, always inspiring him, putting him to do sports, to swim, to do martial arts. And his mother, he said, "Look, Mama, will be with me in Ultraman. I want her in the picture." And obviously we said yes. And that's a wonderful story that he has. He always mentions his mother, and I'm really looking forward to meet her.
Yeah.
On Thursday. He's just coming to enjoy his time.
Yeah. Okay. Number 253.
Kildare. Yeah. Kildare has been here previously before as staff captain of Alex Pinheiro, which will be who will be race director with us, and he's coming, to enjoy his time here in Ultraman, but he has been a staff before.
All right. 254, another one of the females.
Juliana. Yeah. Juliana is a psychologist. She's a sports psychologist. She's from Rio de Janeiro, trained by Bernardo Tillman. She has done, I think, a couple of Ironmans, but she prefers ultra trail running.
Okay.
And very strong ultra trail runner. And I think that we can expect a regular swim, regular bike, but on the run, if she puts up the right mix, she can become a top contender, maybe top 3 of the women.
Okay, so looking for her on the run day.
Yeah, that's Fabi. She's from Rio de Janeiro. Yeah, Fabi Silva, wonderful person. Today I talked to her, and she's from Rio de Janeiro, works in a TV network, and she's very excited, very, very anxious. It's absolutely normal. We try to calm her down. She's dealing with some injury. She had an injury during the training, and she had to train mainly on flat courses. But we have a very hilly course,
right? So
it would be very challenging for her, But I told her, let the pain comes when it had to come. So let's go.
Enjoy that pain.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Oh, Tati.
256.
Tatiana, she's a doctor. She lives in Garopaba, wonderful surf city in the south part of Brazil. And as you can see, she has been a couple of times in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
As I told you, she's a doctor. And Tati may surprise us. She just told me that she's coming to have a good time. But let's see how her mix works out during the race.
Oh, yeah. She might just get a little too competitive and start going for it, huh?
Yeah.
I think she's actually podiumed for her age group as well, right? At the Ironman distance?
Yeah. She's very strong. Yeah.
All right. 257, we got the international here.
Yeah, Duncan from Switzerland, as I mentioned before. He's also trained by Bernardo Tillman. And Duncan As I mentioned before, he's from Switzerland, but he lives 15 days each month here in Brazil, 15 days in Switzerland. And he told me it's crazy to train because sometimes it's very hot in Brazil, sometimes very cold in Switzerland. But he told me that his training is all green. I mean, I think that Bernardo told him to do, he has done. He's really thin, as you can see. He's like that. And let's see how it comes out.
Mm-hmm. Well, if he's doing training in Switzerland as well, I'm assuming he's going to be ready for your hilly course.
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Strong biker, I'm guessing, as a European racer.
Yeah.
And then number 258.
Rodrigo. We got a lot of police officers in this race this year. He's also from Brasilia. He is a police officer. He had done Ironman a few times. Like Fabi, very, very excited, anxious, which is absolutely normal. And he's just come to have fun.
Excellent. And 259?
Yeah, Rafa. Rafa is from Rio de Janeiro, also trained by Bernardo Tillman. He's a coach also. He works as a coaching, but he decided to be coached by Bernardo. I met him recently. We didn't know each other, but I was at the school of my kid. And then I was using a UB515 shirt, and then he reached me,
okay.
And I didn't recognize him because he's now he's bald. He shaves his head, and I didn't recognize him. I said, Rafa, and then I met him, and he was telling me about the process. He was going through the training, and he said one thing that was wonderful. He told me, look, I think that the race will be wonderful, but if I couldn't race right now, I will be very happy through all that I've been through up to now. So that's very powerful.
Yeah,
that's very powerful.
Yeah. He gets it.
Yeah.
All right, number 260.
Julio is from São Paulo. He's a business owner also, and has gone through some Ironmans. The profile is very similar to other athletes. Has gone through some Ironmans, and he told us he wanted to experience something different.
Yeah.
He has done a lot of Ironman Brazil, Florianopolis, which is a wonderful race. But he said, look, I want to try something different. I have some friends that have done Ultraman, that have been in Ultraman Brazil.
Yeah.
And I'm just repeating what he said.
Yeah.
Okay. All of them says that it's a good race, very exciting race. People are warmful, so I want to give it a try.
Excellent. 261.
Caleb, his kid was born 3 days ago.
Oh, congratulations!
And, yeah, was born 3 kids ago. His first kid, and Caleb's a wonderful person. He's a coach. He's from São Paulo, and I asked him how he was doing previously to his kid was born, how he was dealing with the pregnancy of his wife.
Yeah.
And his answer was wonderful. Look, I train while she's sleeping, and every time she's awake, I'm asking her, do you need something? Do you want something? Can I help you with something? But he has a very strong Ironman background. He's a very good finisher at Ironman Brazil. So he said that he's done 70% of his training. I think it's fair. It will be fair enough for him to finish, which is his main goal.
Right. Okay. 262.
Yeah, Mauro is from Bahia also. Same profile. I think Mauro has 7 Ironmans, a lot of ultra distance races in ultra trail. He's coached by Eduardo, number 200, that you mentioned before. So Eduardo told him about the race, and he's giving a try. A wonderful person, bringing down all his family.
Oh, good. 263.
Flavio, he's a fireman.
All right, we got policemen and firemen.
Yeah, he's a fireman in São Paulo. He's he has 3 kids coming down também, very, very strong as you can see, and He's a wonderful person, very, very funny. Everything that he says makes us laugh. And he was one of the best interviews that we had. It was very funny.
Oh, good. When you do those interviews, is it like a panel of you on a Zoom meeting together with the athlete, or do different race directors, you call all of your staff race directors, do you each take on a number of athletes and farm that out to different people?
Yeah. Very good question. I participate in all the interviews, me, Andres, which is my brother, and we always ask different race directors to participate if they can. Yeah. Sometimes they can't, because we do those interviews during the weekdays, at night, after work.
Yeah,
because we all work.
Wait, you have a day job? And this doesn't pay your life off?
I do have a day job. I have a paycheck. I have a boss, and we usually do that. But me and Andres, we always participate in all the interviews, and it's really important to go through these interviews. Really, really important.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've mentioned that before to you, because we have to see I forgot the expression in English, the proposito. We tell the athletes why we organize these events, and the biggest question, the most important question, we make to the athletes is, why do you want to participate in this event? And sometimes the answers, it converges. Other times it diverges.
Right.
So it converges, it's good. If it diverges, it happens. Sometimes the athlete itself during the interview said, look, I appreciate what you guys are telling me, but I prefer not to go, to go on. It's okay for us.
Yeah.
But again, we make the connections, so it's good. It's okay.
Excellent. All right, number 264.
Gabriel Braz, he's from São Paulo. Again, same profile, just want to finish the race. Very, very, I think that Gabriel was the longest interview we ever made. It was almost 2 hours.
Oh.
He was describing his background. He was telling about his family. He was so excited about doing the Ultraman, and people that he's talked about previously before, and have talked about him about the event, and just want to come down and have a good time.
Excellent. 265.
Oh, Fernando. Fernando is from Northeast Brazil, Tocantins, very, very Northeast Brazil. He's a businessman. He has a solar panel factory, which is a cutting edge solar panel factory here in Brazil. And he had a car accident 2 months ago.
Oh, no.
While he was training, and he didn't break anything, fortunately, but he had, I think it's harsh. How do you say in English? Harsh?
Road rash?
Yeah, when you fall down the road
rash.
and you get
Yeah,
road rash, exactly. Yeah. You're right. All road rash. But fortunately, he lost his bike. I had to buy another one. But he's coming down. We asked him, do you really want to do this? Yes, I want to do. I have all the flight tickets with my 3 kids. I'll be there right then.
Speaking of bikes, what are your rules on bikes? Do you let the athletes swap bikes for different parts of the course, or do they have to stay on their one bike?
No, we do. We do let athletes swap their bikes if they want to. There is no particular part of the course that they can do that. They can do that anytime they want. Mm-hmm. But on day 2, before the mountains, we have a checkpoint. So everyone has to stop there. Everyone. Yeah. Because the athletes is not allowed to be supported by its teams during the 11K stretch. Okay. Because it's just one lane going up and just one lane going down. Yeah. So they have to receive their food and the hydration, to go by themselves. Yeah. And if they want to change the bike from time trial to a road racing bike, they can do that. But they can swap their bike anytime they want. Okay. Yeah.
Do you find that a lot of athletes do swap bikes to get up the mountain?
No. Most of them continue on their time. Most of them do the race on their time trials bike, and most of them continues on go up the mountains on their time trials. I would say that last year we had 41 athletes, 4 changed, swapped their bikes. 10%.
All right. Athlete number 267.
Victor. He's always with that wonderful smile. He is a business owner in São Paulo City. He claims that, and I'll have to go there to check it out, that he owns a restaurant, a pizza restaurant. And he said, you have to come down because I have my pizzas is the top 3 pizzas in São Paulo.
Yeah.
Wonderful person, very, very excited about the race. And Victor, I'm going to meet you in person.
That's interesting that he says top 3. Most people, when they want to brag, they say they're the number 1.
Yeah. Because, São Paulo is we have a wonderful restaurant, pizza restaurant, and I think the top 3 is very, very good.
Okay. Athlete 269.
João Paulo, another policeman. He's a sergeant for the military policeman here in Brazil, in Mato Grosso. And he's coming down with his father. His father will be his chief of staff, and his wife and his 3 kids, and just enjoying the process and going and just looking to be in the race.
Right. You're going to have a special award just for the service members, officers. The police and the firemen.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
What do you do for your awards? Do you have special awards that you give out, like the Ohana Kokua Award type of thing? Do you carry that tradition on, or do you have your own Brazilian version of it?
Yeah, we give an award for each athlete, a plate.
Yeah.
But we do have an award that we give. We observe during the event, how the dynamics, of the staffs, if they help each other. And we always observe one team, that, is kind of an outlier.
Right.
And then we give that team an award.
Okay.
Yeah. We do have that.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay. Let's go on to 270.
Wagner. Yeah. Wagner is from São Paulo. He's very cool guy. Very, how do you say that? Economics in his words, in his speakings. Very monologue. What he says really deeply, really, really meaningfully. And he's a chiropractic. I don't know if I'm telling it correctly.
Chiropractic? Yeah.
Chiropractor. Yeah, exactly. Chiropractor, yeah.
Okay.
In São Paulo, one of the best in São Paulo. And you have to book 3 months ahead, 4 months ahead. He's always a lot of people wants to be,
adjusted. Yeah.
Treated by him.
Yeah. Well, maybe some of the athletes will be coming to him in between to get a little adjustment.
Yeah.
All right. Athlete 271.
Renan. He's from Garopaba also. He's from that's a city on the south. He's a surfer, very strong surfer. Uh-huh. He's a real estate entrepreneur there.
Okay.
His background is from surfing, but he has done a couple of Ironmans. He has a kid, a 5-year-old kid, which is coming down with his wife from Brazil, and just wanting to have a good time in the race.
Excellent. And 272.
Pamela. Yeah. Pamela has a wonderful story. She sent us an email last year. She said, look, you just have to, I just want to be in the race. Now, she has done a couple of Ironmans. I just want to be in the race. I do whatever you guys want me to do in our organization. Just give me, please, give me some space to help you guys. And we said, sure, you can come down. And she came with where she lives, and it's 8 hour. She came in a motorbike. 8 hour driving, riding her bike. Yeah, her motorbike. 8 hour from where she lives. Yeah. And she helped us a lot last year in organization. And this year she comes as an
Excellent. And 273?
Rogério is just like the typical profile, wonderful guy. He's an entrepreneur in São Paulo, has a wife, 2 kids. Very hard for him to train. But he has done a few Ironmans, 12, 11 hours Ironmans. I think he will perform very, very good in Ultraman. Wonderful guy.
Excellent. And last but not least,
Adriano.
274.
Yeah. He's coached by Eduardo, number 200, and he's called Dr. Crazy. Dr. Crazy, because he's very, very funny. Very, very funny. Everything that he says, is a wonderful person. He has such a strong light, And Eduardo has told me as a doctor, he does a wonderful work, helping people, social working, he's a wonderful person.
Excellent. That's amazing.
Just coming down to have some fun,
Yeah. Great. Well, Alex, we've just looked at 43 different athletes. They come with 43 different stories and 43 different crews, 43 different paths to get to that starting line and reasons to do so. You've done an excellent job of sharing, some real insights to each of the people. What do you think is, if you were to look back at this, what would be a common thread? What is it that's bringing these people to your race?
I think is that we have a responsibility in what we say, that the process will make them, if they let, not the race, not the event, the process can make them better people, better persons.
Yeah.
I think that is the common thread, the common sense of those peoples. Yeah. When they hear that from other people who has been in the race, as athletes or staffs, because for the staffs, these events, also can give them a legacy.
Yeah.
But I think it's that, they have to be, if they let, they permit, they can be, better persons after this event. The event will pass.
Right.
We want the event will pass, but the legacy will make them better fathers, mothers, workers, brothers, all to the related areas of their lives.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you for taking the time to share all these athlete
My pleasure,
stories.
Larry.
How can people keep track of what's going on in Brazil coming up this weekend? Where do we find the information?
Oh, in Brazil, UB515, Ultraman Brazil, Instagram. We have Sandro Tanaka, race director, which covers, it all, and will be there movies, films and videos and pictures, and through UB515 Instagram.
Excellent. Well, we'll be sure to be following that and seeing how this all unfolds for your crew and making sure that all these new racers are going to have that experience that they're looking for. So congratulations to you and your crew for putting this together for another year. And we look forward to watching the race.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. Greetings from Brazil.
Yeah. All right. Obrigado.
Obrigado. Aloha, mahalo.
Hey, if you liked what you heard today, please tell a friend and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We'd appreciate it if you'd rate and review the show while you're there. Drop the names of the people you think we should interview and we'll get in touch with them and make that happen. Thank you for listening to 515, the Ultra Podcast, a production of 55 Enterprises. Now really, go subscribe now before you forget.